Hello, and welcome to another edition of Madam Moose Radio, and this is Lisa.
Hi, it's Bob again. Hi.
How are you doing today?
It's been one of those crazy days so far. Just a lot of insanity. And you?
Well, I'm trying to ride the storm out, as the song goes.
Right, I was just about to ask. So has the rain started?
Oh, yes, it started.
So you guys are sort of on the side of the path, right?
Yeah, we're on the east side, which is called the dirty side, we're going to get a lot of rain. But they're predicting it's going to go back out and come back in. But we're going to have rain they're predicting till Wednesday.
No way.
Yeah.
What is the drainage like there? Are they making any preparations to deal with this?
Well, they're trying to, but, we're below sea level.
Yes, I know. It makes it more difficult.
Yeah, a frog pees on the corner, it floods,
Yeah. Oh, so sorry. Well, hopefully all will be okay. And Mother Nature will stop raining.
Right. Well, the coast, the people down there close to like Galveston and Clear Lake and all that, they're like a lot more prone to get flooding than I'm on the northwest side of Houston, so I'm pretty far out. It takes me an hour and a half to get down to the coast, so
I see. All right, well, hopefully everything will be okay, like I said.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about this new album you got going on. What inspired you after all this time to put out a solo album?
Well, it was one of those circumstances where I had to give up my studio in Los Angeles because the business was just, I was not able to get the kind of budget to warrant holding on to my studio. And I moved to Las Vegas, and my girlfriend, Julie Begans, who was the photographer on the record, she took all of the photos of me and a few of the other photos as well. She kept saying to me, I don't understand, why don't you do a solo record? And I was just like, I had all the excuses in the world, and, basically I checked out at that point. Mm-hmm. And due to the fact that she introduced me to Bobby Ferrari, who is a producer-engineer here in Las Vegas, who owns an amazing studio called Vegas View Recording.
Right. And
she introduced me to him, so there then appeared the venue for which I could do the record. In this space of time, I had written 4 new original songs, just to write some songs, just to see what would happen. With my old Balance bandmate, keyboardist Doug Katsaris, who had been working together with Dee Snider and a few other people over the past few years anyway. Mm-hmm. And so I played the 4 songs for Bobby. Julie had already heard them. He freaked out and was like, let's record them. Do you know who you want to use? And I was like, I'd like to use all of my, friends that I always used on some of my compilation records. Dee Sarzo and Yapasy and Frankie Benally and Dee Snider and Robin McCauley. So These were the first calls for the people that I had worked with in the past on these numerous projects, who were all friends of mine, who when they heard the songs, they felt the same way. Like, we didn't know what you were planning on doing, but these are like real singer songs. I was like, I'm trying to, do something special, do something that people would go, wow, it's not just a guitar jam. These are real songs with real artists on them helping out. So, it's a solo record, but I do have my 23-piece band backing me up.
Right. So when you were putting this album together, you had envisioned certain people playing certain songs?
Yes. Once we had started to lay down the drums and bass, it became obvious the song started to come to life. I put the real guitars on once we had Scotty Coogan or Brent Fitz or whoever it was that wound up playing on the other 2 songs. That this made sense, and it all started to come together. So Dee will sing the Gruffer songs, because his voice is like that, and this song seems like it'd be good for Robin. And then I was introduced to Andrew Freeman at the Rock Vault here in Vegas, through all the other guys that I know that are in the show. And he came down to the studio, and then he wanted to sing a song. And so we used him. He did a great job, Andrew Freeman. And Todd Kearns, who Brent Fitz and Todd Kearns were the rhythm section for Slash. And so they're both on the record, Brent playing on the song that my brother co-wrote.
Right.
And Todd singing on the first song on the record, Richmond.
So why Skeletons in the Closet, the name for the album?
So originally, when we finally were able to get this circumstance going, as I mentioned to you, between Julie and Bobby and Doug's songs, and then adding these other artists, we recorded the 4 original songs. Everybody was really happy. And then we decided to add the cover song, Goldfinger, which we did a really metal arrangement for, and got Vic Wright, friend of Bobby's, to sing, great singer. And then it just seemed like, okay, so now we have an EP, Bob Kulick and Friends. I thought to myself, oh boy. Oh boy.
Right, because you had like old songs and new songs on there, right? Some that you pulled out.
So here's what happened. So somebody said, why don't you grab some of those skeletons in your closet and use some of the songs that you've had around all this time that people never really got to hear. And so the nuggets from the closet, these songs that a few of them were released, but really not. Maybe released in Japan or maybe just released in Europe, but nobody's really heard them. Neither of the bands did anything, Skull or Murderers Row. So it just seemed like, take a couple of those songs from each. And then there was a song that Dave Isley and I had produced and recorded that was never released either, called Can't Stop the Rock. And so we put that on there, and all of a sudden it just came to me, you know what? Here's the concept. The Skeletons in the Closet. So rather than Bob Kulick and Friends, here was a concept, so it could help the artwork, the skeletons, and all of what it is, and have a piece of digital art, and at least have a name to it, at least show something more than, well, Bob Kulick and Friends, here you are.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so, it morphed from a 4-song EP into Skeletons in the Closet, a 10-song record.
Now, in writing the new songs, did you write those by yourself, or did somebody else help you?
Those are written with Doug, as I said, my old balance bandmate.
Okay.
He wrote melody and lyric, and I wrote music.
Now, I noticed that your brother Bruce is playing bass on a few of these songs.
He plays bass on one song, he plays guitar on one song.
Oh, okay. Are you guys competitive, in musically,
No, we're not. We're there's no reason to be competitive. He's Bruce and I'm Bob, so we have our own things, and that's it. We're not competitive. Gee, who's better? It doesn't make sense. It's not anything that's applicable to us.
Now you're a guitarist, a songwriter, a producer. What do you think you like the most out of all that?
I like producing. I like all of it. It just depends on who I'm working with. So I might like a gig better depending on who I'm working with. I might like a production. So in other words, if I'm in the studio with, like when I produced the We Wish You a Metal Christmas record a few years ago, and we were able to get my friend, may he rest in peace, Lemmy, and my buddy Billy Gibbons and Dave Grohl to come down and do Run Rudolph Run. Who would think that there was anything better in the world to do than to be with, those people hanging out making some music?
Right.
So that, it really depends on the who. I like writing songs. I like playing. I like doing sessions. But this was fun because I never did this before. All these songs were going to go under my name, and so this turned into something that was beyond anything I'd ever done, because here we are with my solo record.
Now, when you're starting a new project, what's your favorite part? Is it the recording or is it the writing?
I think my favorite part is the mixing, when you have all of the information there. Mm-hmm. And then you can sift through it and decide how you want to paint the picture. But the recording process is way more exciting because everybody's there. But the mixing is when you can really play with the source and try different things and sort of and all of that. So it's kind of two different things is to get the information on there, which requires a lot of work and a lot of paying attention, and then the joy of the mix of just being able to relax and allowing it to come together, and then, you know, being able to smile that, wow, it really worked out great.
So after this album is released, I believe September 15th?
That's correct.
Are you already working on a new project?
Well, what's happening then is, you know, we're working on trying to get some shows together.
Uh-huh.
First up is the KISS Cruise. My brother and I are going to be playing on the KISS Cruise November 5th through 10th. And Brent Fitz and Todd Kearns will be going with us, so they're going to be our band. So it's like four people, the four of us who are all on my record, we're all going to be doing this show on the KISS Cruise. And after that, we'll see what happens with the rest. But Gene Simmons has contacted me, and he's working on a box set of songs from the past. I have a few songs in that pile. Mm-hmm. So he's going to put that out at some point in the near future. And the new Motorhead record, on the cover, I have 4 songs that I produced on that from back in the day. The God Save the Queen track, and Whiplash, the song that won the Grammy back in 2004.
Right.
Jumpin' Jack Flash, and Shoot 'Em Down. Those are the 4 songs on the Motorhead thing that I produced. So, you know, I have other stuff that's in the pipeline, so to speak, that I'm proud of. That's something special. The KISS Cruise, the record, gigs coming up, the Motorhead CD, Gene's box set. So, also been producing some young artists. Have a young artist named Jacob Reese Thornton, 14 years old, unbelievably talented. Guitar player, songwriter, singer, does it all. Looks great, personality plus, working with kids, young adults who eventually will be the stars of the next generation.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So maybe we can find you on tour in 2018?
Hoping so.
I hope so too. So where can people get this new album coming out September 15th?
Well, it should be available on Amazon, should be available on iTunes, should be available in your store, but check online, you'll be able to find it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk to me for a few minutes about your new album coming out, and I hope to see you out on tour next year.
Lisa, thank you so much. Me too. To see you, everybody on tour. Like I said, I'm really excited about the record, and I'm curious to see what people are going to think of. It's a very unusual project, a solo record with all these name artists on it. I think it's something unusual. Hoping people will like it.
I do. I've listened to it over and over and over. I was like, wow.
Well, thank you. What's your favorite song?
Believe it or not, I like Rich Man and Not Before You.
Oh, very nice. Those two are the love songs, exactly.
Yep. Those
very
are
nice.
My two favorites.
All right. Well, is this going to be a print, or did you record? How do you do this?
This is going to be all audio.
Audio. Okay, great.
So, perfect. Yes.
All right. Well, I look forward
I can send you a finished product if you like.
Sure. Or to Dave, whatever. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Right,
anything else you'd like to add before we close?
No, I think I added all of the good stuff about Motorhead and KISS and all that stuff. So I think we're good, yeah.
Okay. Sounds great.
Thank you so much. Be safe.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Okay.
Okay.
You too. Bye.
Bye.